I hope many of you will get to see this astonishing creation at the Hotel Marlowe, and your first reaction will probably be, what in the world is it? Is it science? Is it history? Is it art? And it's all of those. And like any extraordinary artistic creation, it's transformative. It's taking elements of the past and the present and weaving them together in another entirely different way.
At the Marlowe and at Kimpton, we always take a look at all the different aspects of our guests' experience. And one of those things was our arrival experience, and we found that it was a little bit underwhelming. So we started talking internally and thought, what can we do to make it, visually unique? As we got further down the process, I had a conversation with Dave Riley from our ownership group, and he had mentioned it'd be kind of cool to put some sort of artwork in the courtyard. And really the only direction he gave me was, it needs to be metal, it needs to be spherical, it needs to move, and somewhat whimsical.
If you're in Cambridge and you want to stay at a hotel that basically embodies the science and the technology of the area, then behind me is the image of what we're trying to portray. Needless to say, this sculpture was not created by Cornerstone. We engaged experts in the field, and those experts were Modvic and Salmon Studios.
I'm Bruce Rosenbaum, founder of Modvic, and my steampunk art and design company repurposes and infuses modern technology into period objects, architectural salvage, antiques, anything old. And I create fantastical, unique, meaningful, and relevant steampunk art, really for anything, anywhere. Steampunk art is about reimagination. It's taking objects from a different period and combining them in a creative way with technology, so you have the best of two worlds. It's really exciting to work with the Hotel Marlowe. This has become my steampunk project dream, because now we are going to create a 25-foot custom steampunk armillary.
The timing of this piece is incredible because we moved into this new facility 6 or 8 months ago, and we actually committed to making this sculpture, this armillary, before we knew we could be in this space. And it was a bit of a gamble on our part because we took this project on without really understanding how or where it would be built. And it just was a great opportunity to move into this space and make this the first giant project that we built here. This project definitely represents a unique opportunity to make something just, epic in scale and to have a lot of creative freedom. So right now we're a team of 8, and there's 6 full-time employees, a summer intern, and myself. And every day is a challenge to keep everybody going in a straight line. And everything that we do is so unique and specific that it's difficult for someone to just run with a simple task. They constantly need input and creative direction.
had to do over 100 feet of linear welding on this ring. You'd be surprised how much weld will add in weight. Just a box of the TIG wire that we use is roughly 10 pounds. So I would say it probably weighs 800, 900 pounds.
I think the biggest challenge here is that we've never constructed anything this large that also moves. And so we can't just weld pieces on. We've got to be aware of where things are moving and how they rotate. Traditionally, armillaries have numbers or Roman numerals as part of their look, and those referenced degrees of latitude and longitude or where things were in the sky. We've actually moved away from having any kind of symbols as part of this piece, and some of that was based on a conversation we had with these two astrophysicists who basically looked at our concept and said, this is never going to be an accurate armillary. It's not really precise in tracking anything in the sky, and we took that as a cue to really emphasize the sculptural and artistic aspects of this more than the functional aspects of it. The overall concept for this armillary was first designed in the computer, but we're past the point of going back to the computer to pull these last creative details out with stainless steel accents or brass accents and bronze, and we're hoping to explain some of the stuff to the hotel today and why we've made certain decisions.
What is art? Well, I think at the core, art provokes thought. And I see steampunk art as a way to combine the past, the present, and the future all in one moment, and all in one space, and all in one time.
I think it's admirable that the hotel is willing to invest this sum of money and this trust in us to create this kind of piece that really serves no purpose other than to look cool. But I think it's a wise move on the hotel's part because I think it's an investment that they realize will pay off in recognition and the notoriety this piece brings to the hotel.
It's called an armillary. I like to think of it as the imaginary armillary because it is an artistic piece that takes its roots in a scientific astronomical instrument, which represents the motion of the sky in going around the Earth. Not that it says the Earth is the fixed center of the universe, but it's our observing position. Now, this device takes its roots from that, but it's in a way rather different. It's not a working armillary sphere matching the heavens against a device, but rather it's more extraordinary than that because it represents not only the distant heavens, but also what might be the structure of an atom with the electrons going around the nucleus. So all of these elements have been put together. It's an astonishing creation because it is so huge. That's part of the imagination that's involved here. So I think it is something worth going out of your way to see it in action with the wheels turning around. But don't think of it as a scientific instrument because it isn't exact from that point of view. In fact, it's carrying on in a grander way